So let us start with the experiment of determination of residual chlorine and chlorine demand. These are the chemicals that we are going to use: acetic acid, then we have Ki crystals, potassium iodide crystals, the chlorine solution, sodium thiosulfate 0.001 normal, K2Cr2O7 potassium dichromate again 0.001 normal. We have starch indicator. We will be also using the concentrated sulfuric acid 1 ml, which we will dilute to 10 ml. Then as usual distilled water, and again the glassware as usual, the conical flask, the burette, the measuring cylinder, the pipettes. We require stirrers, so stirrers we will be making use of. Then 10 ml measuring cylinder, and these are the 4 beakers 1, 2, 3 and 4, to which we are going to add varying concentration of chlorine from the given chlorine solution. So now let us start with the first part, that is the standardization of titrant. So our titrant is sodium thiosulfate, which again on exposure to environmental conditions it changes its normality. So we have to standardize it. So for that, this is the procedure. We are adding 2 grams of potassium iodide crystals in the conical flask. To this we are adding 100 ml of distilled water. So already 100 ml has been measured and we are putting 100 ml of distilled water. Now to this particular solution we are going to add 10 ml of 10% of H2SO4. That means we have to take 1 ml of sulfuric acid. So 1 ml of sulfuric acid we have to extract. Now when we are extracting sulfuric acid, it is concentrated, so ensure that you are not sucking it with the pipette, but you are using a rubber ball. So you can see here a rubber ball balloon is used. Ingole sir is extracting that. Then he will adjust the level to 9. So from 9 to 10, this is a 10 ml pipette he is using. So adjust initial to 9. So you are not required to check it. Then put 1 ml. Okay. So 1 ml concentrated sulfuric acid has been taken. Now to this he is going to add 9 ml of distilled water. So add 9 ml of distilled water. So this is 10% H2SO4 solution, and 10 ml of 10% H2SO4 solution is what we are supposed to add to the conical flask. Now we are required to add 10 ml of 0.001 normal potassium dichromate. So add 10 ml of 0.001 normal potassium dichromate. So here it is. So we are extracting 10 ml of 0.001 normal potassium dichromate. Add it to the conical flask. Now to this we have to add starch indicator. Again first we have to add 100 ml of distilled water. We have to add 100 ml of distilled water. Now we have to add starch indicator, 1 or 2 ml of starch indicator. You can see the blue color has developed. Okay. Now we have to titrate it against sodium thiosulfate. So we are taking sodium thiosulfate in the burette. Ingole sir, you can rinse the burette once. First rinse the burette. So we are rinsing the burette. Yeah. So take about 10 ml of sodium thiosulfate initially and drain it out from the burette. Now adjust the reading to 0, initial reading to 0. Waste some solution, some sodium thiosulfate from the lower end also. Ingole sir, you can take some beaker there. No, don't take it into that. No, use the other one. Take some beaker or anything. Yeah. Then waste it from bottom so that the rinsing will be complete. You can throw it away. Now titrate it against, or this sodium thiosulfate we are titrating against potassium dichromate till the disappearance of blue color. So the titration is going on with the addition of more and more ml of sodium thiosulfate. You can see the intensity of blue color is diminishing, reducing, and our end point is till the first disappearance of blue color. You can see some bluish tinge is there. Yes, now the blue color has disappeared. 10.5. And the reading is 10.5 ml. You can see first they have mentioned first starting with the determination of concentration of chlorine in given chlorine solution. So for that we have to extract 10 ml of chlorine solution in the conical flasks. To that, as usual, we are going to add 100 ml of distilled water. So 100 ml of distilled water is being added. Then add 1 to 2 ml of concentrated acetic acid. Now remember again, acetic acid is also concentrated. So extract it carefully. Ingole sir, use that rubber ball or by capillary. Don't suck it. Just adjust it to 8 and then release it. So we are adding 2 ml of concentrated acetic acid. Then we are going to add 2 grams of Ki crystals, potassium iodide crystals, 2 grams. Yeah. Then add 1 to 2 ml of starch indicator. So the blue color has got developed. Now titrate it against now standardized sodium thiosulfate. So the sodium thiosulfate was already standardized. And then titrate it against sodium thiosulfate, which is already standardized now, and we have to record the amount of ml of titrant as say YmL till the first disappearance of blue color, and this will be made use of in calculating the concentration of chlorine. Now this concentration, in the example they have mentioned that if the concentration of chlorine is 100 ml, 100 mg per liter, then how much dosage we have to add, or how much ml we have to add, so that our dosage will be 0.5, 1, 1.5 and 2 mg per liter. So our dosages are fixed. Now what can change is the concentration of chlorine in given chlorine solution. How much is the reading? 20. So this Y we will be using for calculating the concentration of chlorine in given chlorine solution. If the concentration is greater than 100, we will add less ml to keep the dosage same. If the concentration is more than 100, we will add less ml to keep the dosage same. So 100 by x, where x is the concentration of chlorine in given chlorine solution, and our dosages should remain same. That we will also be seeing in the further part or the calculation part. So now we are taking 200 ml of the sample in 4 beakers. So this is the sample and we are taking 200 ml of the sample. Now to this we are going to add varying dosages of chlorine. Now how the varying dosages of chlorine will be added? It is based on the concentration of chlorine in given chlorine solution. So from the experimentation that we have done, our value of X in standardization was 10.5 ml. So the normality of sodium thiosulfate of actual 0.001, against that we have got the normality of 0.00095, and then Y ml during determination of chlorine was 20. So doing that calculation, we get the value of concentration of chlorine in given chlorine solution as 67.36 mg per liter. Now as mentioned earlier, where our dosages are fixed like 0.5, 1, 1.5 and 2 mg per liter. So with respect to that, 100 by concentration of chlorine, so 100 by 67.36, so we have to add 1.48 ml in the first beaker, then 2.96 ml in the second beaker, 4.44 ml in the third beaker and 8.92 ml in the fourth beaker. When we add these concentrations or these ml of chlorine, our chlorine concentration will be 0.5, 1, 1.5 and 2 mg per liter. Why it is so? I give simple example to the students for understanding purpose. That we have been asked that the doctor has asked us that we have to take 100 mg of tablet, okay, but the tablet available in the market is of 50 mg capacity and our dosage exactly should be 100 mg. In that case we will be required to take 2 tablets, okay, and instead of 100 mg per mg tablet, suppose 200 mg tablet is available in the market, then we will have to take half of the tablet, so that exactly 100 mg dose will go in our body. So here as some fraction is there, we have to also use 1 ml graduated pipette, okay. So we are adding varying mLs of the chlorine concentration or the chlorine solution. So 1.48 ml in the first, 2.96 ml in the second, 4.44 ml in the third and 8.92 in the fourth. So these varying dosages are being added. So here in this case we have to use 1 ml graduated pipette also. So those varying dosages are being added to keep our dosages as standard 0.5, 1, 1.5 and 2. Now from where these dosages have come up? These dosages have come up from the standard practice at the water treatment plant. So at water treatment plant, normally we will find that these dosages are in this range, somewhere between 1 to 1.5 mg per liter. Now this dosage should give us a residual chlorine of 0.2 mg per liter at the consumer end. So when the corporation or municipal council or Gram Panchayat's water come to our water tap in our house, it should contain 0.2 mg per liter of chlorine. Now to this we are going to add starch indicator first. Ingole sir, just check it. What is to be added first? So Ingole sir, acetic acid and Ki crystals are to be added afterwards. After adding the varying doses, now we have to keep it for stirring for 10 minutes. Okay, so stirring will be done for 10 minutes. Now why this stirring? Because when we add chlorine in the water treatment plant, there also some mixing mechanism is used. So we either have under or over baffles or some kind of stirrers, or chlorine is injected at many points in the clear water sump, and as the water is in motion, some water is coming from the filter bed and some water is leaving the system, either to the it is getting pumped and it is getting distributed. So water always will be in motion and automatically chlorine is getting mixed. So we are doing this stirring here for 10 minutes. We have to do the stirring. So we will continue the stirring for 10 minutes and then we will do the further part. So we have continued stirring for 10 minutes. Now 10 minutes are getting over. Ingole sir, you can stop stirring. Yeah. Now to these 4 beakers, to each beaker add 1 ml of acetic acid. So we are going to add 1 ml of acetic acid in each of the beaker and a few crystals of potassium iodide, Ki. Earlier it was mentioned 2 gram. Now we have to add few crystals. So there is no need to weigh it. By judgment, about a spatula or so will suffice. So as he has got practice, he will stop at each of the ml after adding 1 ml. But otherwise it is better to take 1 ml and then drop it. But if you have sufficient practice, you have control on the pipette that is being used, then only it is possible. Then add few crystals of Ki. We can feel a strong odor of acetic acid, like vinegar. Vinegar is like that only. So in hotels etc., the onion that we get which is dipped in vinegar, that kind of smell we have here in the lab, that is for acetic acid. So that the Ki crystals will get dissolved. Now we have to add 1 ml of starch indicator. Now you will see that our concentration or the dosage of chlorine is increasing from beaker 1 to beaker 4, 0.5, 1, 1.5 and 2, and same thing will get reflected in the color intensity also. You can see that as compared to beaker 1, beaker 2 has got dark blue color. Ingole sir, you just mix it so that it will be more clear. So if you see it distinctly, beaker 1, 2, 3 and 4, the intensity is gradually increasing. 2 and 3, although not much difference, but still you can see that 3 is darker than 2 and 4 as compared to 3 is darker. So it is an indication that the chlorine that has been added or the dosages are different. Now these dosages we will further titrate them and then we will find the residual chlorine. So let us start with the titration now. First sample is being titrated. First beaker having a chlorine dosage of 0.5 mg per liter till first disappearance of blue color. 2.2. Yeah. Go to the second beaker. You are continuing from 2.2. Just keep it in mind. Yeah. Again, stir it. Stir it. Still some bluish tinge is seen. Against the light, if you see little, just check it against light. Yeah, still some bluish tinge is there. Okay. How much is the reading? You subtract 2.2 and tell me.
4.5.
4.5. Now the third beaker, you are starting from 4.5. How much is the reading? 6.6. Then go to the fourth sample. You can see as the dosage is increasing, the ml of titrant required is also increasing. After this, we have to plot a graph. Okay. First, we have to see what is the chlorine demand. Then we have to find how much is the residual chlorine. Then we have to plot a graph between applied dosage on x-axis versus residual chlorine on y-axis. So, to get a residual chlorine of 0.5 mg per liter at water treatment plant, how much dosage is required to be applied? That is what we have to find from this graph. So this dosage, which will have a residual chlorine of say 0.5 mg per liter at water treatment plant, will give a residual, or is likely to give a residual chlorine of 0.2 mg per liter at our water tap. Now, if at our house residual chlorine is not 0.2 mg per liter, then that water quality is a suspect. Okay, there could be some bacterial contamination. Now we are going to perform one experiment, that is MPN, most probable number. It talks something about the number of bacteria that are likely to be present. Okay, and there again we will see what is the significance of this chlorine. So how much is the reading?